What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 2
of season 2. What's going on?
My name's G.
Yo, I'm Dom, and this is
the G and Dom Show.
like we still haven't figured that out though.
Yeah.
And if you're watching, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we got a fun show for you today.
Yeah,
Some a different guests that we've never had before.
I just met them and they're cool people.
Yeah, we have the band The Great Wide Open, Geoff Moran and Seth Johnson.
Yep.
They're going to play us a song. We're going to talk music with them. You know, Seth's got some really great stories of the old rock days of the 70s, Cape May.
Cape May, the Shire and everything. Yeah, I like that.
So I got a question for you. How you feeling about the Phillies right now?
They're looking. I thought they were gonna have. I thought they had it yesterday, man.
I
thought they had it.
I was sitting at we went. Sammy had homecoming, so we're sitting around and everybody's like watching the game. We're all watching it, and every guy took a turn saying, "I don't like it. They're letting them hang in there. We need some insurance." So there's a guy playing. He's like, "Can we get some insurance runs?" And
I had it all here, and
man.
I was watching it. There was a guy that came in here. He was a Mets fan. Yeah.
I think I saw him later at Naughty.
Yeah,
I seen him there. I mean, how many Mets fans can there be around here?
Yeah, and he asked me, he's like, "Are you a Phillies fan?" I was like, "What are you getting?" He got a bunch of stuff. I was like, "I'm a Mets fan right now." Just kidding. But no, hopefully
you're for sale.
Hopefully they pick it up, man. They still got chances, man. They still got a lot of chances.
Yeah, well, we're saying game 2 today, man. I can't. Let's go,
Phils. Are you going to it?
Let's go, Phil. No, I can't afford that shit.
You sell yourself, bro.
So much stuff. There you go. Have a paper clip. There you go. And
somebody was selling tickets. I saw them. Oh, tickets that expensive?
Well, I think you could have gotten standing room yesterday for like $250, but and today you might get them cheaper.
Yeah.
Like even if you discussed it.
Somebody was selling tickets on Facebook the other day for 4 tickets for I think they wanted like $900. Two tickets. 2 tickets.
Yeah, that's probably the going rate.
Crazy.
I went to.
I'd rather go to Xfinity and get drunk there and just watch the game with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you just want to be around people.
You're around
yeah, I mean, but the stadium's electric.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is. It's really cool.
I went to a game last year for the first time.
Oh, first time ever?
Second.
Really?
Yeah, I went to see it. My wife's a big Warriors fan. They're out. So.
Yeah. Did you go to Camden Yards or did you go to Citizens Bank?
Citizens Bank.
It's a nice stadium. No, it really is. If you've never
Have you been to where the Warriors play?
I've been to both. Yeah, the Warriors, and that's cool. Camden Yards is kind of they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the area Camden Yards is in too,
Yeah.
though, like the Inner Harbor area.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty kick ass.
Are you ready? You ready for the Eagles too?
I am ready for the Eagles. I don't expect big things, although I will stick with 8 and 9 might win this division.
Yeah.
So they might be able to limp themselves into the playoffs. And it could be a team that starts off rocky and then tightens it up as they go.
They've done that before.
Their schedule's not terribly hard.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what's the expectation? What do you want? So my expectation is not Super Bowl.
No.
My expectation is to see them get on the right track. Maybe a playoff run.
My expectation is for Jalen not to get fired. And Nick Sirianni. Okay, that's my thing.
But speaking of scary situations, because we got the Phillies are scary, the Eagles are scary, and it's scary season. So last night we went to Naughty to the Haunted Core Maze.
I just saw it on Facebook yesterday, man.
Dude,
and I saw you posted it up that you went.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite. But you didn't want to hold on to my arm while you walked through the whole thing. That's the thing. No, is it good though?
I would say very good. Very good, very quality.
Yeah.
There was a ton of people there working it.
Working it.
Yeah, working it. So it was like nonstop jump scares. So
is there clowns?
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything. I don't give too much away.
No, I don't want.
But I thought it was very well done. And again, you live in North Cape May. You don't got to go drive 40 minutes somewhere or an hour and a half. I had a blast listening to my wife scream. Although she said she didn't get scared at all.
Is it scarier than the Wawa in the Villas?
The Wawa in the Villas?
Have you seen that place? That shit's scary. So if it's scarier than that, you're doing a good job, Nardi.
Hey, at least Wawa has pizza.
Hey.
You ready for our guests?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. The G and Dom Show.
That was good. What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
Yo, what's up? I'm Dom.
I'm G.
And here we go. Episode 2, season 2, episode 2, and we got some great guests with us. This is really exciting. We have Geoff Moran and Seth Johnson from the band. What's the name of your guys' band?
Great Wide Open.
The Great Wide Open. Now, where did you get the name from?
The name was inspired by the Tom Petty song.
Okay. So are you a full Tom Petty cover band, or?
We do a couple Tom Petty songs, but we're an original band and we're a cover band too.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Where do you guys normally play at? Like, do you have any upcoming gigs or anything like that, or any recent gigs?
The guitar, Tom Ridgway, who's our lead guitar player and vocalist too. We do an early morning worship service at Cape May Lutheran Church.
Oh,
So you're always
nice.
welcome to
Awesome.
come see us. We play from
Right.
8:30 to 9. We usually play at Cold Spring Brewery, and looking forward to in 2025. Hopefully, we're going to do the Cape May Singer Songwriter Festival, and I know Dom, you're going to be a part of that too. So we're looking for some other opportunities. So
Hopefully.
that's what we got in the works.
Yeah, I paid my money. I paid my dues. So, do I gotta kiss a ring? Do I have to like?
I don't think
Do I
so.
have to get like a boom box and put it out in front of Congress Hall?
Yeah.
Be like, this is my song.
I
But
don't think so.
but I mean, how long have you guys been playing together?
We've been playing together really since 2019. Seth used to do an open mic in Stone Harbor at Stone Harbor Pizza,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where we started playing together. I've known Seth really since 2013. First time I ever saw Seth play, we was playing with Gino White. Seth played before my band at Villa's Fishing Club, which is going back now about 11 years, and we started. Our band really is kind of an outgrowth of the Stone Harbor Pizza open mic. We started playing together. Seth came up to me one day. He's like, "Yeah, we should have our own. We should do something." So we started playing together, and Seth played with me that year at Cape May Singer Songwriter in 2019, and we played together kind of off and on since then. Really,
Hey, remember that one we played up in the sticks at one time?
yeah.
Remember the torrential
Good stories.
downpour?
That was at.
Oh man, where was
Yeah,
that at?
that was at. Oh man, I forget.
It was
where
like
that
a biker bar.
It was,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Did you have to get like the chicken wire around you? Bottles
No.
thrown-
No, that wasn't that. But there was a story about one of the owners got shot and was killed or something.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
That
was-
It took a dark turn.
Probably a drug deal or something. But anyway, we go up there, we play, and we were the first ones on there. And at the time, I had one of those. It's not a cajon. What's the
Doomback.
Doomback? I had a Doomback.
Okay.
Okay. Put a mic on it. We go up there, we play, and we did a set, and everybody liked us. Then it all went downhill from there. It was heavy metal hell from Swampland, including the plumber's crack. Remember that guy? These guys are setting up. It's like the further inland you go into the Jersey woodlands, the worse the talent gets. It's like swamp bad. Okay.
The Watering Hole. That was the name of the
Okay,
place.
okay.
The
I
Watering
mean,
Hole.
I thought that
Truth
was the name
is-
of the band. Actually, Plumber's Crack is a good name for a
It's
band.
good,
Just
yeah.
throwing it out there.
Well, I actually like the bar because you don't get those around here because all sports bars, everything's like
Right.
everything's like ugh, gentrified. It's like widescreen TVs, sports everywhere. And
They like this though, because I remember
They did,
that
they did.
one night the guy won at Crosby, Stills and Nash, and I was able to play Ohio, so
Yeah,
he was he was accommodating after that.
and that singer-songwriter thing we did on St. Bill.
Yeah.
What Dave Rowan and
Dave Rowan and Drew.
Drew
Drew
Richardson.
were there.
Oh, nice.
That was a lot of fun, and that was at
Those are great guys,
in
too.
at Cape May.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lithia's.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of that was the last year they did it because
Yeah.
of COVID. Following
Yeah.
year it shut down because
Yeah.
of COVID. So looking forward to it being back.
Well, we just did a show 2 Saturdays ago at the Cold Spring. That's the first show we've done in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Really?
And it went down really well.
Yeah.
It
People
was
liked
really
it.
nice. Yeah,
We were very blessed.
Well, I'll never forget one time I went to the open mic at Stone Harbor Pizza Place, and like you were the one that said, go to the open mic there, go to the open mic there. So we go, and you're there drumming, and Tom Poundermaker's playing. You guys are like, you guys can go up next, and you guys just start slaying it. Like they're killing Pearl, they're doing
Yeah.
Pearl Jam, they're doing all this stuff. I turned to Jim like, I don't want to go now. It's like you're too good. I don't want to go up there anymore.
Yeah, that was,
You're great, man.
It was hit or
Yeah.
miss there, but the golden time was before the COVID thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And
yeah.
it never quite recovered after that. But that was a long run. He was up there a lot. Tom was up there a lot.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fun open mic to do.
Dave Rowan. Dave Rowan's awesome too.
Yeah, I don't see him much anymore because he's playing with Dead Reckoning and all this.
Oh yeah. He's all over
so
the
it's
place.
rare that I ever get to play with him anymore, you know, because he's in demand. And you know, I'm playing with some new people. These guys, they were a band called Space Camp, but they're the guy Nash, Brian Nash, the band leader, is reorganizing the band.
Oh, nice.
Everything's through an agent, so it's like you gotta wait on your money and all that. But I played a gig up the old nunnery in Cape May Point with his old band, the
Really?
Capers. Yeah, so that was a nice one. We had Brian O'Neill on guitar.
Oh yeah.
With
He's
Amy
awesome.
Hafana and of course Bernadette. That was a beautiful gig. They had because last year was a horror show because it was so sad because their benefits for Food Closet, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah.
and these are all wealthy people. And I mean, everybody's so nice.
Right.
Very eccentric. I'm like, I belong with these people. Even though I'm a plate of beans, I can't compare to them. They're caviar. Right? Well, anyway, the gig we did last year, okay, it's this, they call it Once in a Blue Moon or some kind of benefit thing they did. The weather was atrocious. It was black, it was damp, soggy, and they had us up on the porch. Okay, the nunnery's huge. You guys are been
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's yeah.
and it was
Impressive.
It was terrible. It was just a terrible gig. So this year made up for it, more than made up for it.
That's awesome.
It was nice. Now, so since Geoff rang me up some time ago, and I ain't seen him or heard him in a while. He goes, hey man, you want to do a gig? Me and Tom. I went, yeah, I'd love to. So we did one or two rehearsals. Did we do just one?
I think we did 3.
Three. And it's tough to get Tom because of his schedule.
Yeah.
So we
Busy guy.
Sunday afternoons are great for me. They really are good. If I get somebody over there, great, you know.
Awesome. Yeah.
Have you guys been to that Bear Brewery yet? Anybody been?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I really like their beers. To be honest with you, I go. I forget the last beer I had there. Sorry, Bear Brewery. But every time I go, I enjoy their beers. So.
Well, a few weeks ago, I had relatives down
Okay.
from Massachusetts and up from Florida.
Nice.
They do this every year because they have the clam bake and
Oh,
the
cool.
VFW.
Right,
And
right.
everybody's just like, it's tradition.
Mhm.
I didn't go because I was working. I was doing a pig roast. And anyway, my brother Matt stopped in there with, I don't know who he was with. He was on his way home. And there was a band in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I knew they had bands in there. I knew Powder Maker
Oh
played
yeah.
there.
No, they do music there. I mean,
Yeah.
like a lot of these places, you don't usually get a full band. It's
Yeah.
usually like
Like a duo.
a duo or it's a
Yeah.
single player. Like, but I'm sure they're all like there's so much competition and there's so much work now for musicians around here.
There
We've got
is.
4 breweries, a distillery, wineries. You
Yeah.
know. Soon they'll be having them at the pot dispensary. You'll be playing in there.
Be
You know,
outside.
like, what's up? Doing slam poetry.
You
But,
know,
yeah,
the
but-
strange thing about around here,
But I think if you just call, I bet they're
yeah, I'm just going to stop in there because my brother took a picture of the band set up and sent it to me. I still have it.
Yeah.
And he said the band was good. They were just too loud. They had to be told to keep turning it down. Now the thing about us, or playing with Powder Maker, or any of these guys,
Yeah.
they don't do that. Nobody has to tell us to turn down. You just
Right.
okay, like the song we just did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your sound level.
That's what you want. You
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
You don't want people screaming to get the hell out of there.
So the last gig that I did, we had a little problem with our sound, and we were kept. And it's like there's nothing worse than you're in the middle of the gig and people are like, turn it up. So you turn it up, and then people are like, turn it down. And you're like, oh wow, this is bad. Like you're like, oh, we're not getting invited back here for a while.
Where
you
was that
know? The bucket, which love the bucket, and they're always been really
Yeah.
good to us. But after that, I kind of felt bad. I was like, oh man, I said I apologize about the sound situation. By the third set, we had it right. We sounded pretty good. But you know, what we do is different anyway. So if we sound like trash, people are like, it's part of the act. It's part of what they do.
You know, it's funny. It's strange around here. It's because Cape May County, in general,
Right.
has gotten kind of beatnik with the entertainment.
Okay.
Because I used to play in lots of bands.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point. I like that.
Yeah, it's like I played in lounge bands, rock bands, cover bands, all over the region, and I watched how this place is gentrified. But at the same time, so I'm born and raised here, and there's like a ghost town around here.
Yeah, so you're a native.
Yeah, and so broke into the music scene in the late '80s, and I got my education playing in lounges.
Okay.
It's good, and that's
like in the casinos, you mean, that type of thing, or
stuff like that. But that's where not in Cape May. A lot of it was very accommodating.
Okay.
For lounge acts. Okay.
Okay.
Plus the big rooms with the rock bands, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But they seemed to be more open and conducive to. Okay. So then I got out of that, started playing. There was a term that came out in late, probably '87 or something. The term that was new was called classic rock.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden you got. Yeah. We used to listen to WMMR and WYSP out of Philadelphia, and then CXL comes down there, blows them out, and all we have is them.
Right.
But classic rock has changed its definition over the years. I remember when classic rock was growing up was like the '60s rock, and you heard the Guess Who and Creedence Clearwater Revival. Now it seems like classic rock is everything. Basically, classic rock now is grunge.
Well,
and Nirvana is classic rock.
There is a reason for
everything
that.
from the '60s all the way up to the '90s, really, and it
crazy.
changes, but
it does.
There was the term pop, then you had hard rock, acid rock, you have all these country rock.
Yeah.
But the classic rock thing seems to be the umbrella that covers all of it.
Sure.
So when you listen to this radio station, and then the local radio station that came out, the Jazz Festival, the original Jazz Festival still happened. I was involved in it. Gino White and all these other people.
Okay.
Carol Stone had it. She's the one. It was her brainchild. It went on for years. Big success. Now out of that came 101.5 FM. The local radio station.
Yeah. Okay.
And I remember I did an interview, and Ray Reyes, he's passed away sometime. A big, deep, almost like a baritone voice. He got me an interview, and at the time I was playing a lot at the Brown Room and the Boiler Room.
Okay.
Don Shaw, Gino White, Ann Oswald when she was around.
And are these guys jazz guitarists, or are they
no.
rock guitarists?
The jazz guitarists that I've worked with were playing jazz.
Okay.
Where these other guys say like Don Shaw,
right?
Everybody knows about him.
Sure.
His country roots and all the beautiful things he does. That's a different genre. And Gino White is in another different genre, like progressive hard stuff.
Okay.
So the neat thing is, I've always had a really good relationship with guitar players. Now, we all know about the lead guitar player syndrome, right? Well, these guys, the neat thing was, Tom Ridgway, okay?
Okay.
Or this guy, Brian Nash, Brian O'Neill, all these guys are very tasteful players. Mm-hmm. And they're all different, one of them's alike. Yeah. And I like that connection, and the thing I've learned from Gino White, I've been playing with him longer than anybody, is his thing is he's a guitar drummer guy.
Okay.
His thing is drums. I need you to push, I need you to drive, and on his website he has a list of his favorite drummers. Okay, and the original Jazz Festival, Gino and I were involved in that. We would do these pre-concert jams, and I have them on disc. And we played with Barry Miles, who was like a world-class musician. He's moved away from here since that time.
We moved to Florida.
Yeah.
We moved to Florida, I think in 2016 or 17.
Or playing with guys like him or Andy Lawless, who's the finest upright bassist, the double bass.
Phenomenal bass.
And the thing is, playing with guys like that is like swimming through warm butter. They make it easy.
I like that, swimming through warm butter.
I mean, these are technically gifted world-class players. Yeah. And they're so easy to play with.
Players. Yeah. They can play with anybody.
Yeah. It's just their timing is impeccable.
And just they know their instrument well.
Yeah.
They can play with anybody.
I played with Maddie Hogan. Her timing is impeccable. Yeah. And that's the important thing. If you're playing with somebody, you're not going to rush it.
Right.
Like Geoff. Jeff's he's spot on.
Yeah.
As long as you got that together, boom, you got it, man. You got it, man.
So let me ask you something then. In your opinion, might sound like a stupid question. In your opinion, the role of a drummer in a band, is his role to drive the pace of the song? Is it to fill the song out? Is it?
You know what? You're answering all the questions. You should be a drummer because
I'm only missing one problem. Rhythm.
It depends what style. Basically, to me, a drummer's role is to provide time and groove. Because you know what? The drummers are the foundation. Yeah. Any great band, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Led Zeppelin, the Beatles,
the drummer.
It's the foundation. It's the drummer and the bass player. That's your foundation. And If you don't have a drummer's role is to provide time and groove. Doesn't matter what context, and if you have a bad drummer, then you're not going to get too far.
Yeah, I've seen some bad drummers, but I'm a big heart for drummers. I'm not a drum snob. And I see guys that like their chops are a little loose, but they're really trying. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that's not really pushing what you're doing there. You know, it lifts their spirits a little bit. But he's right there. The thing, what you said, is the drummer supplies. It's like a painting,
Okay.
and we're not talking about painting by numbers.
Right.
We're talking about you're pushing the band, you're supplying the band, you're the backbone, and also it's good when a drummer can actually step outside of his realm. And Ringo Starr did that in so many ways that are so clever, people just don't get it. Another guy's Charlie Watts or Lee Von Helm, all these different drummers, all these guys, okay, whether it's a big time guy that's like, one of the top 10 drummers in the world,
Okay.
or some guy in a corner bar who's keeping some really good times. The thing is, there's a quote by Ginger Baker from Cream, and he says, if you got a good drummer, you got a good band. If you got a great drummer, you got a super band.
That's
very
true.
true.
That's good.
And it's important. Drummers really are that important to get people interested.
There's also the quote too. If you put a good drummer in a bad band, you have a good band. But if you put a bad drummer in a good band, you have a bad band.
Now, speaking of drummers, did you start off as a drummer?
No, I started as a clarinet player.
Okay, but you drum.
I do.
Yeah. So do you guys ever have a drum off? Like, do you ever get into an argument? Like, we're gonna settle this the old-fashioned way. No. I'm being funny, but
Yeah, you sure are. Now, I remember one time back in '87, I was playing the Rainbow Room, and I was in a rhythm and blues and soul band. And I didn't play drum solos. I wanted to really bad, but it didn't require it. So we had an open mic, and this guy from Philadelphia comes down. His name is Charlie, and he gets up on my drum and practically wrecks it because they let him play a drum solo, and I was agreeing with them, being like, "Why won't you let me do a drum solo on my own kit?" But then he would come around and he would jam, and we became buddies. And he left the area a long time ago. But yeah, most of the time, I had one of my old drum teachers, Chris Giorno. I studied under him for like 5 months, and I ate it up. I loved it because I wanted to get back, brush up on my reading skills, which have lapsed into nothing since that time. Because I never used sheet music on any gigs, so I just kind of let it lapse. It never happened. But he said to me, the last thing you want to do if you're smart, be a drummer and somebody invites you up on stage, don't try to upstage the guy that you're sitting on his host kit.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
And he's a progressive jazz drummer, funk drummer, and an accomplished piano player. So this guy knows his business.
Sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, there's this cocky dude wanted to get up on his drum kit on an open mic night. Now, this is nowhere around here. Okay.
Okay.
But he told me this story, and it's food for thought for any drummer. The guy gets up there and tries to wipe him out on his own kit. I don't think the musicians or the audience cared for that. So the guy gets off the kit, and he got like minimal.
Right.
They didn't like his attitude. So my buddy Chris gets up and plays and does his thing, and the guy talks to him, like, "Hey man, I think they seem to like you better than me." He says, "Yeah, because you went up there and tried to blow me off my own drum kit."
Yeah.
You don't do that.
That's a lesson in humility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad. I mean, it's bad etiquette, bad for business.
You know what I like what Buddy Rich said? He and Louis Bellson, two of the Titanic Jazz big band drummers, loved each other. They were buddies. But I remember one of the few rock drummers that got a compliment from Buddy Rich was Carmine Appice, okay? The great legendary drummer from
Vanilla Fudge.
Vanilla Fudge, yeah. Of course, he played with Ozzy, he played with everybody, Geoff Beck. Well, Buddy, he's an accomplished drummer. Him and his brother, Vinny, were raised in music. They didn't just play drums, okay? They had music theory, they understood stuff. And Buddy Rich says, we don't do drum battles, we do drum duets.
Okay.
So a guy shows this thing, he shows this thing. Unless you want to be stupid and try to trip him up, then you're going to regret it.
Right.
Yeah, a drum duet. You don't try to upstage the other guy.
Yeah.
You trade off ideas.
Okay. I like that.
That's why I like working with a percussion player whenever I get chance, which is rare, but it's nice.
I do see those bands every once in a while where they have the drummer and then they have the conga player, and that's always adds so much layer to
It is. It's a lot of fun. I love it, man.
So let me ask you guys this: music inspiration. Like when you were getting in this, when you started playing music, was there a musician that you were like, hey, this is somebody I want to emulate, or this person here is the reason I play music? Do either of you guys have like inspiration like that?
For me, as far as drummers go, it's Geoff Porcaro from the band Toto.
Right.
He was my big inspiration. As far as songwriting goes, it's two guys. It's Don Henley and it's Ray Davies of the Kinks.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
That's who inspires me.
Me, it's a mystery. Ever since I was a little kid, back when I had AM radio,
Right.
The 60s were coming to a close. I'm turning 6 years old, and you should have seen this amazing car. It was a purple Chrysler station wagon. It looked like a Batmobile.
Oh, man.
This thing. Well, driving around with my mom. We're going to Wildwood, or we're going to the old Acme. It used to be here back in the old days.
Oh, wow, the old A-frame one.
And I'm hear all these songs on the radio. You can hear everything from the Beatles to Al Hirt to Cream to Linda Ronstadt to everything. Like, boom, boom, boom. And music always drove me. And my cousin Stevie had this amazing collection of 45s, LPs, and reel to reel. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
Back in the day, yeah. And he played this stuff all the time. My mom had a good record collection, so it stuck with me.
Okay.
And I can't tell you what drew me to drums, other than the time when 8 tracks were big in the 70s. I'm about 11 years old,
Right.
So I'm listening to, I put earphones on. I know it sounds cliche, and I hate saying it, but I'm going to say it. Led Zeppelin 4.
Okay.
All right. Levee breaks. For some reason, that. So I'm hearing this on these earphones, these big fluffy earphones. And so I got this wild idea to go out. We had a wood pile and a bunch of nets that were on like crates and stuff like that. My father's commercial fisherman.
Okay.
And it was lumber. It was like quarter rounds, planks, all kinds of stuff. So me and my ingenuity went out, pulled out this long thing of quarter rounds, broke it in half, took it in the basement, and I put it in a vise. Okay, and I sawed them down to what I thought were drumsticks.
Oh, that's cool.
And so I'm up on the bed, on my brother's bed, doing something. I don't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
But my mom saw, this went on for a while, saw that I had this mock-up drum set. One of the neighbors gave me. I started screwing around with it. Whatever, little kid was like. But then my mom got a wild idea about this, that when I graduated 6th grade, my mom says, I got a birthday present for you. So back then, the old Rio Grande had what they call the Marlin Manor. It's a shame they knocked it down.
Where was that at?
Rio Grande, right where the right across the street from the Rio Grande Diner.
Oh, okay. Wow.
They used to have a music store. I mean, it's like stepping into Philadelphia.
Like where the pretzel plate, where the Cyber trucks always park now.
This place, even Wildwood had it.
Okay.
It's like stepping into Philadelphia at a pawn shop or something. It's really cool around
wow.
here. Yeah, there's really cool stuff around here. It's no longer around.
Yeah.
Had a lot of character. Well, Crown Music. Okay, so we go in there, and my mom bought me a pair of marching band drumsticks, thick suckers, okay, with the nylon tips, and my first book, Haskell Hart Rudimentary Drumming.
Okay.
And there's an advert on the board. Louis Sahara drum instructions. Best thing that ever happened. So I started taking lessons in July of 1976, and he was this hipster with his Earth Mama who had hairy legs.
I feel like everybody needs an Earth Mom at some point in their
But
life.
this guy was clean. I mean, the place where I started learning how to play drums is still there.
Okay.
Still there. And he had this beautiful, it's a pink set of Slingerlands that's like the swirl finish.
Right.
And these nice big Zildjian cymbals. Those drum sound so heavenly. So I had to learn how to play drums, read, use a metronome, learn my dynamics, my rhythms, and I was enjoying it. And then he moved to Texas, and I was heartbroken because I had nobody else. I had no mentor, no nothing. It was like a wasteland. So there was nothing around here. We're talking about the 70s.
Yeah.
There wasn't no music scene around here. Cape May had it in the summer. Wildwood had it in the summer. That was it.
Oh, so, yeah.
But when I got old enough, and I'm in my 20s, there were clubs around here. They're still here. Red Brick used to be the Bay Shore.
Right.
Jake's Bar and Grill used to be the Pirates Den.
Oh, the Pirates Den.
And then there was the Biker Bar in Wildwood. There were places, the lounge scene that I played, there were places for bands to play off season.
Okay.
Yeah, they were willing to give local musicians a shot.
Okay.
Not probably make about maybe $75, which is good money then.
Yeah.
But then, things change. Time just moves on, man.
Things change. People
But
change.
but to your point though, right? If I'm not mistaken, in the 50s and 60s, there was a really good music scene down here, like the doo-wop stuff, right?
Oh, let me tell you,
Like
I've
Bobby
worked with guys.
Rydell and like Chubby Checker. And,
Yeah,
right?
but let me tell you something. I worked with all kinds of guys back then. They said, man, we were dying to get a day off.
Right.
They would be a house band at Carney's, which was Sid's,
Okay.
back in the 70s, and then in the 80s it became Carney's. But T.C. Kissinger, one of Gino White's old bass players. He's tall. He looks like Gumby, right? And he was in a reggae band. I have a CD of one of their live shows, and they were working all the time. They were house band for the summer, and they would put bands up upstairs above Carney's, the old Shire, which used to, now it's a
Yeah.
T-shirt shop.
Right.
They really know how to do things around here, right? Kill culture, 7 other T-shirt shop. Oh yeah,
I could put it on the T-shirt.
I stayed up there, even though I lived in Wildwood. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay up here, because I was messing around with one of the guitar players' girlfriends next door when he was, I don't know what he was doing, but it was fun. I love the decadence, I miss it. Now everything's all clean.
I would agree though with you. Like to me, it seemed like in the 90s because I graduated in '98, so like that 90s, early 2000s, there weren't a ton of bands except for the summertime.
Yeah.
But like to your point, the music scene around here has really revved up over the last few years. So it's really interesting to see.
I
Everywhere you
remember
go,
though-
there's new acts, or there's people getting together, creating some
When
stuff.
I remember when I was younger, you saw a lot more bands. Now you see a lot more duos and singles.
Yeah,
than
what,
you used
right.
to. You used to go to see a lot more bands, and with horn sections, bigger bands. But ever since, to me, I think when the economy tanked in '08, it's you see a lot more duos and singles since then.
He's got a point there. I remember those. I remember when that stuff started happening. My insurance company tried to jack me up another $25 fiat, just like that. I said, this is unacceptable. And that in 2008.
Okay.
Like, oh, I see what's going on here. And he's right. Things like
Yeah.
everything tanked.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, and I agree what you're saying about the duos, and we were saying it earlier, the duos and the singles. But if you're now with the equipment they have, it's easier to
Yeah.
get the looper pedals.
It is.
It's easier to get the backing track. Like some people, you go out there, you see it, they're basically doing karaoke. But they're talented singers, so it's good to have the variety at the same time. But if you give me my option, I want to see a band. I want to see a full band because it's like it's rocking. I want to rock a little bit.
Well, I've done a couple of gigs with Loops.
Okay.
I worked with one of Frank Sinatra's guitar players.
Oh,
He had the drum machine thing put in. It was Alan Weber. Remember Alan Weber, the sax player?
Yes.
Okay. And it was at the North End of Wildwood. And this guy says, hey, have Seth come and play drums with some music. I was like, yeah, but you're using a drum machine. I don't care. I want a drummer. It worked. It was fun. I was having a blast. So,
Right.
we're playing and everything. And this guy was like totally old school. He toured with Sinatra.
Wow.
And 77, they were playing a lot at casinos. And this guy, he's been around. Frank was his name. I can't remember his last name. He looked Italian, but he was actually Indian.
Oh.
I mean, from New York. Whatever tribes that were there, he was descended from those guys.
Oh wow.
But he had that New York tough guy talk. You think, because everybody thinks I'm Italian. I'm not. Iroquois, I don't know what it was. But anyway, he gave me a really nice compliment. And I was having fun doing it anyway, because it's a challenge.
Sure.
You're playing to a click track, you're playing to a metronome, you're playing to a loop, and you're the drummer.
Yeah.
You better know what the hell you're doing. Or,
Sure.
I don't want none of that. He said to me, and I'm not trying to, but I'm going to take that compliment from a guy like that because he's played with world-class musicians. You know? He said, you know, I play with some of the best drummers in the business, and they can't do what you just did.
I mean, that's a lot of moving parts right there. So
I just
pretty
recently
awesome.
did, back in August, I did a gig with Brian O'Neill, a benefit. It was
Okay.
for the Shine Foundation, if you're familiar with the Shine
No,
Foundation.
what's the Shine Foundation?
I didn't know till it's an organization that tries to track down missing children, you know,
Oh, wow.
sex trade, all that kind of stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, it's local people, a lot of huge, very, very big business people that everybody's heard of around here. They all put their time in, and their kids are involved.
I didn't know.
They did
Never
a
heard of that.
5-mile run. The kids were on it too. You could walk it, you could jog it, whatever.
Oh, wow.
And they come back in, and they have prizes. And I was, Brian was using the loop.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he's always got a massive pedal
Yeah.
board.
And it's like I could see the little clicky light, and as long as I hear it, I'm good. And we had Larry Larrabee sat in with us on harmonica. It was a really nice show. There was a guy doing bagpipes. So yeah, that was at the Hawk Haven back in August.
I'm gonna have to look that up. So it's the Shine Foundation.
Yeah, I have it. I have it on my
Check
sheet.
it out. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
Shine
throw it up
Foundation.
on the board. Yeah,
you
man.
definitely want to check that
Yeah,
out.
it sounds like a great cause. Absolutely.
Especially these times, man. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
it's crazy.
The thing that I would say too about playing the click tracks and playing the tracks is you have to have a good sense of time. Because I was in a group that used to play the tracks, and I remember one time we had a singer who could not sing in time with tracks or a click track at all, and I remember really getting frustrated. Saying to Mailer, I said, "Why do we have all this stuff? We have all this technology." And I said, "And the singer still can't sing to the loop." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." So it's playing the tracks is an art form. It's an art form, and you gotta still be a good musician in order to do it. So
It takes a lot of listening. You got to really, you got a woodshed. You can't
Right.
just go, well, okay, no. You like I tell drummers, I say, hey, this is for drummers. Learn to love the metronome.
yeah.
Yeah, the first time I ever heard a metronome, we tried to record something, and I put the headphones on. I heard click, 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 click. I'm like, ah! I was like, no. I was like, my brain, you go because, like you said, it's a mindset.
Yeah.
Like my brain couldn't handle that, like the. So
Well, when
it's
I
something
have-
you got to definitely learn to.
I have
to
little
do.
tricks that I tell people. I say, here's what you do. See, you get here. Then do a counterpoint.
Okay.
Then you go and around the.
Okay.
Like I said, hey, you want to get stupid? Let's watch this one. Give me a single note triplet. What?
Yeah. What is that?
I tell you what, I'll give you a little hint. You can find out for yourself.
All right.
There's a popular song that has a perfect example of the single stroke triplet. The song is called "Love Me 2 Times." Go listen to it. Go listen.
Doors, right?
See,
Okay.
see if you can figure it out.
It's about a soldier leaving for Vietnam.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was very
Blue.
sexual. I thought it was very sexual.
Yeah, I mean, it's
My knees got weak. Gee, I wonder what happened there.
Well, is she loving him 2 times because he's going away to war?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Or she
Last Train to Clarksville's about that.
Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a great song.
And I don't
too,
know
by
if
the
I'm
way.
ever coming home. I didn't know about that.
That's a monkey song, right?
It was written by Neil Diamond, either Neil Diamond or Carole King.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like-
The more you find out.
All right. Well, with that being said, what is one of your favorite storied songs as a songwriter? You know, the song that you listen to, you say, "Man, that's a great story in a song."
Great story in a song. You know what? One I really enjoy hearing the story of
Right.
is "Air That I Breathe" by the Hollies.
Okay.
I'll tell you
not
why.
fami- I don't think I'm familiar with
I'll
that
tell you
song.
why. Because that song was written by Albert Hammond, who did "Never Rains in Southern California."
Okay.
Albert Hammond wrote that song, and it was on his album, that the "Never Rains in Southern California" album. The Everly Brothers recorded a version of it, and then the Everly Brothers gave their album to the Hollies to record, and the Hollies thought they were recording an Everly Brothers song, but it really turned out it was an Albert Hammond song, and they recorded "Air That I Breathe." Later on, it gets better. Albert Hammond's manager is listening to Radiohead talk on the BBC about how they took part of Air That I Breathe and they wrote Creep. So Albert Hammond's manager sues Radiohead and gets a third of Creep and sends it to Albert Hammond. He says, I get this letter in the mail saying you now own a third of Creep. And he's like, what? So he ended up making a ton of money off that song because
That's crazy.
Because the guy opened his mouth.
Yeah,
Damn.
basically.
You were here before? That's
Crazy.
Yeah.
I never heard that. That's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I see the TikToks, and I don't know if I should bring up P Diddy now, but I see the TikToks of where like P Diddy has to pay Sting like X amount of money for something.
It's like
$1,000
a day.
Yeah, something like that because he used a part of his song.
He used the Police song.
Well, I've been missing you.
Yeah, for
that.
That's his tribute to is it Biggie?
Yeah.
Remember they sang together. They sang together at the VMAs.
Every breath you take.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? You get guys that rip off parts of songs like back in 1990. What's his name? The rapper.
Vanilla Ice?
No.
Julio.
God, stop. I said 1990. Please listen. Pay attention. That stupid song, Funky Cole Medina.
Oh, Tone Loc.
Right.
I love that
What
song.
does he do? He rips off the drum intro to Jamie's Crying by Van Halen. And I'm like, wait a minute, I wonder, can the drummer get compensated for that?
Yeah.
If it's not written, I don't know.
I heard a story though. The entire reason that sampling they call them clearances.
Okay.
The entire reason that exists is because of Vanilla Ice and Ice Ice Baby.
Well, I remember that going to court
Because
and
he
didn't
took
win it.
Seals. No,
he took
Queen.
Under Pressure
Yeah,
and he sampled it, and they said that is the entire reason why sampling and clearances existed now in music because of that whole case. From what I heard now, Vanilla Ice claims that he owns Under Pressure. He bought the rights to it. So, yeah.
I mean, we were talking about that earlier, that the buying of rights to music is insane. Like Bruce Springsteen got $500 million for his rights. What are you saying, Bob Dylan? How much did he get?
$300 million.
$300 million. I mean,
Queen sold their catalog for $1 billion, and Pink Floyd just sold theirs for $400 million.
if anybody listen, I'm willing to sell my catalog for 10 grand
$100.
and a cheesesteak. Before you guys get out though, because we were talking about haunted houses and haunted trails earlier. So just final question.
Okay.
Yay or nay on haunted houses? You have a haunted house experience? Do you go to them? It's getting the spooky season.
Halloween's coming.
Sorry, you want me to answer?
Yeah, Jeff. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, I went to a haunted house years ago, and it was enjoyable. You know, I have to be. I'll level with you. I have to be in the right frame of mind to kind of deal. I love Stephen King, but I have to be in the right frame of mind to read a Stephen King novel because you can't read too much of it because it really kind of can. It can be a little too much. So
It's morbid.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I gotta
He's
be
a
in the right.
cerebral horror.
I gotta be in the right frame of mind for that kind. But yeah, I've been to a haunted house before. It's enjoyable, sure. Yeah.
I had an experience up in Pennsylvania in the summer '84 with my mom. We were going up there to visit her dad, my grandfather. And there was a friend of hers. I'm not going to drop any names. But there's a friend of hers who was up there with this boyfriend, and this guy was a warlock. It was a beautiful sunny afternoon. I was working down at the Rusty Nail that summer, but I got time off because I cleared it with him. And
Okay.
people subbed for me, so that was good. So we're sitting there one afternoon, and this guy decides, he goes, would anybody like to try a seance or something, or whatever it was. He had the table levitate, okay? Well, they go around, they put their hands, it's just a fold-out card table.
Okay.
My mom was in on it, my grandfather, his wife Shirley,
Right.
and this guy. I didn't participate. I don't know. I just don't understand why, but I didn't.
Okay.
I was sitting on the edge of the sofa. I'm watching this go on, and so this table starts going up like this, and then down. And the table goes down. He says, "I want someone to remove their hands from the table." It wouldn't work. My grandfather just was like a doubting Thomas, so he gets, Joe, you're not into it. You're not helping the connection. So it's him, my mother, Shirley, his wife, and this woman, Joan, my mom's friend. So it's just them 4. So then the guy keeps saying, okay, the table will go up like this, and then down. I'd like you to take your hands off the table, okay? So now there's 3 of them left. Table goes down again. Shirley, take your hands off the table. So it's just this guy and my mom. And my mom's on the side like this, and my mom's looking at me like, what the hell have I got myself into, you know? So the table went up and down, and I just said this, I wasn't spooked or anything, but I don't know, man, it's just something, a sixth sense just made, I don't think you people would be messing around with that.
No, the dark arts, no, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. We used to do that light as a feather, stiff as a board stuff. And do you remember that as a kid? No. And something like that where you would try to levitate people. I don't know. There's something dark about it.
I'll tell you a story real quick. I have a ghost story. I remember years ago I was playing at Elaine's in Cape May.
Okay.
And the rumor always was that there's the ghost. Elaine's is haunted by the ghost of the little girl Emily. Because years ago, before Elaine's was a bed and breakfast, it was a private residence of a doctor.
Okay.
Who lived from Philly, and back then, you know, medical science wasn't what it is today. So Emily died of tuberculosis.
Oh.
I think right at the age of 13 or 14. So I was playing there one summer, and you know, people would always kind of tell that story, but I didn't really kind of pay it a whole lot of attention. And then I always remember this. I was packing up. It was late. It was really humid that day. It was really hot that night, and all of a sudden I felt this chill go up my spine, and I heard this little girl laughing in my right ear, and I was like, what is going on here? I'm getting out of here. So
I was talking court mates.
Yeah.
Supernatural.
You know, we actually had brothels around here. Gino told me the story. He and his girlfriend had the Guardian Angel shop right next to Ocean First and all that.
Oh, okay.
And they said, yeah, that building was a brothel at one time.
Oh, wow.
So much history in Cape May, man.
Cape May supposedly has more ghosts than any other place in the country. Only place that beats them is New Orleans.
Well, the ghosts are mostly tourists, I think.
Yeah.
They come here, they don't ever want to leave.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks a lot, Seth Johnson. Thank you very much.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Geoff Moran, thank you very much. All right, let's hear Great Wide Open with a little whiskey business. You ready? Let's hear it.
Hey all out there in YouTube land, I'd like to thank Dom for having us on his podcast today. I'm Geoff Moran and Seth Johnson. We're part of a group called Great Wide Open. We're going to play an original song of ours called Whiskey Business. The song was written by me and our good friend Mr. Tommy Ridgway. So here we go. We hope you enjoy. Thanks for listening. From work on Friday, I'm up to my whiskey business. When I'm home from work on Friday, I'm up to my whiskey business. Monday to Friday, I'm at work. Boss on my case and he's a jerk. I just got
No, I wish.
The G and Dom Show.
That was good.
I'm Dom.
And we're here again. Don't get tired of us because we're here every week. You
So-
think they get tired of us?
Probably a little bit. They're probably of us talking about ourselves. Maybe I don't know.